Hi. It's Wednesday evening, right before dinner. Feeling like I need a little stretch. Let's get back to the mat and do a nice little recovery. Join me if you wish. We're going to meet standing, but we're going to come down into a nice wide straddle. Take your feet out, super wide, maybe underneath the wrists, feet forward. Lean forward, draw that navel in. Take your hands down. If you have a hard time getting down, you can always have a block. Try to settle your hands under your shoulders. If your hamstrings are not happy, you can have a slight bend in your knees. Push into the palms a little bit and then push back into the feet. Find a nice sweet spot that feels good for you. And then gently bring your hands over to your right foot, the ankle. You can leave your left hand on that ankle. Just bring your thumb into the hip crease on that right side. Maybe look up a little bit past the right shoulder. And gently release out of that. Come back to the center. And then when you're ready, bring your hands over towards your other ankle. Leave your opposite hand there. Tuck your thumb into your hip crease. Pull that hip back slightly. Look over that shoulder. And gently unwind. Come back to the center. Maybe bring your hands, turn them to face back. Stretch your wrists here. Push down through the heels of your hands. You might walk them back. And again, soften into your knees a little bit. You don't want to stretch the backs of the legs too uncomfortably. Just get a nice mindful stretch. Now then gently walk those hands back, turn them to face in and just heel toe your feet in a little bit and come down onto your knees. Knees underneath the hips, hands can be slightly turned out here, right under the shoulders. And let's try to initiate our cat-cows today from our pelvis. So drop your hips down, curl your tailbone up, look forward. And then initiate from the hip flexors, move your hip flexors up towards your ribs, scoop the navel and round. Initiate the pelvis, drop the hips, curl the seat. Inhale forward. Tuck the hips, start to exhale. Tilt the hips, inhale, exhale, turn the seat to the sky, try to wrap your triceps back, inhale, tuck the hips round the belly in, exhale, and come to neutral. Beautiful. Walk your hands back. We're going to bring that right knee through into a 90-90 stretch. You just bring your knee right above the ankle. Take those hip points and just turn your hips up towards your ribs. So tuck your pelvis a little bit. Lift your pelvis. Take your hands on that front leg. You should get a nice stretch here. Stretch your arms long, lift your chest. Pulling those hip points up a little bit to get that lovely hip flexor stretch. Nice and passive here to begin with. And then just walk that front foot forward a few inches. And now you can sink the hips forward. Leave your hands here, or you can rest your right arm and get a little side body stretch up and over. Might feel nice to pull that elbow down towards the ribs and stretch it over for 4, 3. Oh, that feels really nice in that side waist. 2. Last time. 1. And then return. If you have a block, you might bring that block right between next to the foot and walk that foot out to the edge and pick a place to put that block, and then lean your hips forward one more time. You might come down onto your block. If you have the flexibility, your elbows might be also on the mat, but get that nice comfortable position here, and then just find your knee and find your shoulder. Find your arm a little bit there. Should get a nice stretch on the inside of that right leg. Push your foot down equally through all 4 quadrants, front, back, insides and outsides. Relax that left side down towards the mat. And then you're just going to walk your foot out a little bit further and turn your feet out to the front corner. Let that knee open. If that feels enough of a stretch for your inner thigh, stay there, or you might lift up to the inner edge of your foot. Let that knee drop open even further. It's a pretty deep stretch in the inner thigh, so if that's not comfortable, bring your foot and place it down. And when you're ready, just push into that block, return your knee, come on back, and change sides. Bring the other leg through, 90-90 stretch. Reach the arms, stretch them out, tilt your hips up. Nice proud chest, lifted head. Feeling that nice stretch here. And then when you're ready, just peel that foot forward a few inches and now sink into those hips. If that feels good for you, you're going to stay there, or you can bring your hand and stretch your arm up and over. You can stay there, or you can bring the elbow to the rib and stretch over for 4, 3. Really nice stretch for those intercostals. 2. Last time. Come back to the center, lean forward a little bit more. If you have that block, bring it in, and then bring that foot out a little bit further. You can bring your elbows down onto that block, any height that works for you, and then try to bring that knee in towards the shoulder, towards the arm. Getting a really nice stretch on that right hip flexor, that back leg. This one is still active against my arm a little bit. And then you're going to gently walk those toes out a little bit, turn your foot out to that corner. And then option to leave it there, let the knee open up, or you can come onto the edge, the knife edge of that left foot. If that Ujjayi breath is in your practice, breathe through your nose and the back of your throat. And then gently push into that block. Return yourself to your knees. And we're going to come into a nice pigeon stretch. So bring your hands under your shoulders. Meet me in a plank for a second. And you're going to bring that right knee to the outside of your right hand. If you can keep this leg nice and straight, reach those toes back nice and long. Again, if you have the block, you can take your elbows on the block if that feels good. You can also rest your forehead on the block. So feel free to stay there. You can also bring that block back to your seat, but the one I like the most is relaxed pigeon, where you turn your left knee slightly out to the left and you come down onto your right seat, right there. And again, maybe put your forehead on the block here. And slowly rise yourself up. I like to take my hands down, come back into the center, curl my left toes, lift that left leg, slide my right one back, and let's do the same on the other side. Bring the knee to the outside of the hand. And again, pick your variation. Your leg might be straight here with the knee pointing down, or I like the relaxed pigeon lately, where you turn your knee out to the side, come down onto that booty and rest. And gently roll over, curl up your right toes, lift up your right leg, and just meet me in a nice down dog. Lift your hips, walk your feet in a little bit. Come up high onto the tippy toes, heels lift high, knees bend deeply. Triceps wrap around towards your ears. And then just pedal your feet out, one heel at a time, dropping down. Stretch out the back of those legs. For 4, 3, And gently walk your hands back towards your feet. Roll it up slowly. And then take your feet out to 1 and 11. Again, the same width you were before, where the wrists are right above the feet. And let's take a nice bend over to the right knee. Nice long back, sink the hips back. And let's bend into this leg and come to the other side. Stretching out the inner thighs. Nice hip creases here. Let's come back over to this side, bend first. And you might lift up those toes to the sky. Getting a little deeper stretch in the inner thighs. Pushing your heel down on this side. If that's not available to you, you just stay with the first version. And then lower that foot down, transition, and lift up these toes. Let's do that one more time. Start to lower the foot, bend the knee. You might come down a smidge lower. Make sure this knee is not passing the toes in front. Sit the seat back. That's how you stay safe with that knee. Lower the foot, transition. You're on the other side. And gently come back to the center. Heel toe those feet in. And cross one leg behind the other. Come on down. You're going to stretch your legs out in front of you. You're going to keep this left leg nice and straight. Bend the right one so it's a 90-degree angle, knee in line with hip, heel behind the knee. And then gently walk your hands behind you. Open up through the chest. Getting a nice stretch right here. You might lean back a little bit further than me. Everybody's flexibility, mobility is a little different in each pose. Just kind of breathe into that sensation that you're hopefully feeling at the front of that groin and hip flexor. And then gently push yourself forward. Assist that leg all the way around. And let's change to the other side. Take the knee straight out from that hip flexor. Straighten out this leg. Heel is behind your knee. And again, just walk yourself back a little bit. Each side is a little different. If it feels a little different, that's okay. No judgment, just feel that lovely stretch. Push through that front foot, keep that right leg, front leg active. And then gently come out of that. Again, assist your legs. Meet me in a nice wide straddle. Remove the flesh from the sits bones. Sit up nice and tall. Forward fold. Toes up to the sky, knees up to the sky. And just walk your hands over to one side. Straddle the knee with both your hands. And again, focus on the opposite heel, pushing out dynamically, as well as this one. And come back to the center. And let's change sides. back to the center. Bring yourself up, take a hold of your knees, bring your legs in, and just flip yourself over onto your belly for a second. We're just going to open up through the shoulders if you've been spinning or rounding down at a computer. Take your arms out to a nice long T, palms down. And you're just going to bend your right foot, aim it for your left hand as you walk these fingertips in. You can lay your head down. You can also bring this arm around if that feels good for your body. Pull that right shoulder back. Or you can point the elbow to the sky. And come out of that gently. Reach your arm out to the side. And same thing, bend that leg. Walk your fingers in, flip yourself over. Return. Bring your elbows directly under your shoulders. See if you can pull your elbows back. Reach your heart forward. Make some space between the vertebrae in your neck. A little stretch in your front abdominal wall here. And you might come down, bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your elbows in and back, and give me a little cobra stretch. Again, try not to crank the neck. Nice long vertebrae there. And if up dog is in your practice, come down, bring your fingertips back a little further, and push the hands and feet down, and rise everything else up. One more time, lift up to down dog. And bring your knees down. Swing your feet around. Cross your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands to your heart center. Close your eyes. And you might just stay here for a little while. Breathing in for a 4 count. And out. Into the belly. Exhale. Namaste. I hope you feel recovered, relaxed, and amazing. Have a great day, great evening, wherever this finds you today.